Strava started out with just cycling. They were a cycling app and they are still adding sports. And most people don't even know, there's a lot of really interesting, cool sports on there. But people only know it for cycling and running. We kind of want to position ourselves as the Strava of action sports. Maybe first now starting with mountain biking. I think that's probably where we're going to be going next. Is it just makes the most sense for us. We can basically copy and paste Shredder and do it for mountain biking. A lot of ski resorts repurpose into mountain biking tracks in the summertime. We've gotten direct feedback that people would actually really want to use it like that. And then way out in the future, it'd be really, really cool if we could develop or acquire a wearable hardware that is like for action sports. So the way that you'd have your Oura Ring or your Fitbit or your Apple Watch and it's tracking your heart rate and all this stuff. We maybe have a module that can attach to your snowboard, also on your bike, also on your skateboard, also, XYZ, the whole shebang. And you can get different specific focused data from the sport that you're interacting with. That's something that we've kind of like me and Alfie have talked about pretty often. It would be really cool if we were able to do that. I think it's entirely possible. And I don't know, we think that would be a really cool piece of added value that we could potentially provide for all action sports enjoyers. Like, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's so sick, bro. Like we're super stoked for you. We can already see like how much you've been able to accomplish, and you're like you do it really well. You market well, you actually produce your product, right? You give it to the consumer, and then now you're looking forward, and you're like kind of in these building stages, and it's really cool to see like where you've come from, where you are now, and where you're going. And so we're super stoked to keep supporting you, keeping by your side. Before we close out, Brody, if you don't mind, we always like to ask. Just if you could say in like 30 seconds, if you had one piece of advice I know you've given a lot of advice today, but if you had one piece of advice for a founder and entrepreneur watching right now that you really feel like has impacted you the most, like what would you say to one of those founders?
I would say that if it touches you in the brain and in the heart, then you should probably, if you can't stop thinking about it, if there's an idea that you have that you just can't stop thinking about and nobody's done it yet and nobody will do it, you should do it because you should at least try and try valiantly. Give a valiant effort in trying. If you think you have a good idea, you're unable to stop thinking about it because if you don't, somebody dumber and less talented is going to come along and do it.
Yeah.
And then you're going to say, I had that idea. And it's a bit of a ferocious way to think about it, but I think that people need to be the first, people need to be pioneers, and that if you have an idea, you should really just go all out for it. You really should. There's so many things that you'll learn. And I also want to kind of congratulate you. Were giving me all this praise. I also want to praise you guys. You guys are doing the thing. So congrats on that. It's really cool. You guys are going hard.
Bro,
Appreciate it, bro.
appreciate it.
That means a lot.